Hi everyone, welcome to Late to the Game with Will, Mac, and me. I am me, Dave, your host of the program, and to my right is Will and Mac, who are kind enough to join me as always. Today's episode, we'll have a few things going on. First of all, we will have a house and home segment that I'm excited to bring you today, followed by Pick 6, in which I pick 6 things in a category which I will provide a little bit later at that time. And lastly, we're going to head to outer space and see what's happening out there. Yeah, that should be fun. But before we jump in the show, I will introduce to you the tea of the day, which is right over here, sponsored by The Bay. Several locations across the city, I imagine, and across Canada. So there's probably some sales going on right now. But the tea of the day is citrusy Earl Grey combined with chamomile. Okay, so that's what we're dealing with. No, see, that's going to be a problem. That's my bad. We have the good morning of the citrusy Earl Grey with the good night of the chamomile, and they're struggling against each other, and that's not going to work out. So not a good blend. I do not recommend that one. You can't get them all right. Now we'll get the ball rolling with our house and home segments. So today we are heading to the little boy's room. Now that doesn't sound very inclusive, and I apologize for that. I'll work on that. And we're going to share some tricks and some tips and some observations that I have, and even maybe a couple questions where you guys can help me out. According to a Facebook clip that I stumbled across while in a designated defecation zone, when men pee standing up, their urine can spray to all parts of the bathroom, which isn't great. They displayed a computer-generated graphic showing the urine on the toothbrush in the bathroom, which means I've been brushing my teeth with my own piss and the piss of my friends and my wife's piss when she's in the bathroom doing an impression of me. So that's not great. I would recommend using a bidet and taking a seat. It's actually quite strange that people stand in North America. And I think toilet paper is one of the world's biggest scams, because when you have a bidet, you don't need a lot of toilet paper. However, it did bring us that lovely Charmaine commercial with the friendly bear wiping its butt. But then I thought about it, that maybe the bear had consumed a hiker or a hunter, and that he's defecating a human being that may have accidentally made eye contact with one of their cubs, because they're a very protective species. So we don't really know what's going on with that bear. Now let's talk about toothpaste. A couple of things I like to touch on there. Firstly, when it's not in use, I would keep the cap on. It could save your marriage. So very important to do that. And secondly, if you find yourself rolling up the tube of toothpaste to get that last little bit of paste out of the thing, stop doing that. I would cease immediately, because I crunched some numbers. I did the math. You are literally saving about 2 cents when you're at that point. And I discovered a little while ago this nice little place called Costco, where you can buy things in bulk. So I go there and you can get Colgate, Freshgate, whatever flavor brand that you want, and you can get like 6 tubes at a time and put them all around the house, and you'll never run out of toothpaste. So I would do that to save a lot of hassle, a lot of work of that. Not good. Next up, floss, which is a very important part of your teeth cleaning program, especially for a guy like me who produces a lot of saliva. It's hereditary. There's not much I can do about it, but it means I'm flossing at least once, twice a day. But I notice when I do that, when the gunk comes out and onto the little bit of floss there, that after I close my eyes, the gunk basically disappears. I don't know where it goes. It's not in the sink. I don't see it on the floor. My wife's never commented on it, so I'm not sure if there's some sort of gunk fairy that comes around and just picks up the gunk and flies it away somehow. But I've always wondered where the gunk is going, because it's kind of gross, to be honest with you. And speaking of gross, Toilet brush. Does anyone know how to clean one? I've had one for about 7 years and haven't cleaned it once, and it's getting a little iffy there. So if someone could share that in the comments on the best way to clean a toilet brush. So that's just a couple of tips and tricks and observations I have about the bathroom area. I hope that information has helped you make better informed decisions. I know it has for me. But next on our list is the Pick 6. As I mentioned earlier, Pick 6 is where I pick 6 things in a random category, anything, whatever I think of. And this week I thought of 6 things that may indicate that you are middle-aged. That's right. So certainly relatable for me. In no particular order. Number 6, you are in the car and you rather listen to CBC radio than music. That could be an indication that you're growing up a little bit. And I like CBC radio. I'm not ashamed of it. It's got some good programming. Number 5, that giant fart that vibrated for 4 seconds between your butt cheeks was the 3rd most exciting thing that happened to you that month. So there you go. Number 4, although it's clearly AI, there's a small part of you that thinks it's real. And when it's clearly real, there's a small part of you that thinks it's AI. Okay, so that's number 4. Number 3, you receive a Facebook friend request from a young, hot blonde, and you say to yourself, maybe she does know me. Okay, but no, she does not. Number 2, when you forcibly get added to a stock market group chat in either WhatsApp or Viber, and you start making witty remarks thinking that you're wasting somebody else's time. And you're not at all, probably. Now, I personally don't do that, but I'm sure somebody has. And finally, number 1. Number 1, between you and your spouse, at least one body part hurts at all times. And that's the number 1, in no particular order. And now it's time to head to outer space and see what's going on out there. This week we are going to visit Mercury. That's right. Not literally, of course, because it's very close to the sun. And I'm a redhead. I would not fare too well there. It is the smallest planet in our solar system. And much like my marriage, it's a little bit rocky. The core is dense. The air is thin. And despite the heat, there is water ice at each of its poles. And apparently it's owned by Nestle. Very interesting stuff. Mercury's radius is 2,440 kilometers, or if you use the American measurement, flat. And although Mercury is small, it does have a global magnetic field, which suggests it actually could have a molten core. So, wow, there you go. Mercury can also be found in thermometers and your teeth, actually, as well, and also some flavorful fish. So don't eat too much fish because you don't want mercury in your body. You want it in outer space. So there you go. So just a few insights on one of our many planets in our solar system. And to align with that topic, I would like to make my movie suggestion of the week. It's Star Wars, a film invented by Disney. It's a story about a small group of terrorists who try to overthrow the government, which is led by a black asthmatic man and his geriatric boss. And oddly enough, there's actually a space station roughly the size of Mercury in the movie. So that's pretty neat stuff. It's all happening in a galaxy far, far away. So check that out. And as always, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm sure that you did not learn anything except for the fact that you've been consuming small doses of urine over your lifetime. But much like mercury, a little bit won't hurt you. Next week, we'll have special guest Jason Priestley, and he's going to share with us his obsession with zip codes. So check it out then. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.